Good afternoon, my friends. Today, remember, is Groundhog Day, and we looked outside to see if we thought that the groundhog would see his shadow. And the Birmingham Zoo put out a video about whether or not the groundhog saw his shadow. And one of the surprises is their groundhog was asleep, so they had to bring out an opossum. So I'm going to show you the video of the Birmingham Zoo and what they did today for Groundhog Day. There we go.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for our special Groundhog Day with a twist. We are going to have a prediction in just a few seconds from our resident Birmingham Jill. Birmingham Bill is still feeling great and in our care, but as a groundhog, he does hibernate. And because animal care is always at the utmost here at the Birmingham Zoo, we wanted to make sure that his natural cycle was not interrupted. So therefore, we are going to be using our resident Birmingham Jill, who is a great predictor of all things weather, because opossums don't hibernate. So who knows better about the weather than an animal who's always awake? So we are going to be welcoming her in just a minute. Donati here is going to teach us a little bit about opossums and why they're so important, not only here in Alabama, but also in North America in general. And then we're finally going to get that prediction to see whether we're going to get 6 more weeks of winter. So let's welcome out Birmingham Jill.
Yay, Jill.
Birmingham
Here she
Jill.
comes.
Here we go.
There she is.
Oh my goodness.
And she is an opossum and not a groundhog, remember?
Virginia opossum. This is a very cool species we have here in North America. It's the only species of marsupial found on this continent. And that means that she has a pouch and she would carry her babies in that pouch after they're born. So they develop and grow and they're nice and safe there. So that's very unique to the species. Out in nature, they are super important to the ecosystems as they are nature's pest control or garbage men, really. What Birmingham Jill is going to eat is going to be a lot of rotting fruits, vegetables, meat, and she also loves to eat bugs. Ticks is one of her favorite absolute snacks in the whole wide world, which makes her really incredible at helping us humans out, as ticks can actually carry Lyme disease, which affects us. So we always say opossums are awesome and give them a huge 2 thumbs up.
Opossums are awesome.
They have some like digits on their back feet, which help them do all their climbing and moving around, as well as a really cool nifty tail. You might have seen it as she made her way out here. It's called semi-prehensile, and it helps her to grip onto things to make sure she's super stable as she moves around.
That's her tail that she's holding up.
Now, she's really awesome, and she stays awake, like Amy said, all winter long, and she is nocturnal. So she's going to be doing all her foraging and finding dinner at nighttime. And she's going to rely on her sense of smell to do that, which is really great. And you can maybe even see her little snout wiggling as she eats her lunch. And that's really incredible. She doesn't rely solely on her eyesight or anything like that. It is the nose that's doing all the work. So we are going to see right now if Birmingham Jill has spotted her shadow. What do we think, Jill?
Do you think she's whispering in her ear?
Becky's going to help us out. Chat with the opossum. And she has seen her shadow, so it does look like there are going to be 6 more weeks of winter here. So thank you so much, Birmingham Jill, for coming out to help us predict the weather this season. And thank you all for tuning in to see us here at the Birmingham Zoo. We hope we'll see y'all soon. Have a great day.
All right. So, there we go. So that was interesting, wasn't it? The Birmingham Zoo celebrated the Groundhog Day with an opossum because the opossum was because the groundhog was asleep. But anyway, I have a book for you called Groundhog Weather School. And it is about, well, I guess how groundhogs learn to tell the weather. And this is the front cover, and it's showing a groundhog popping out of his hole. I guess he's looking to see if he sees his shadow. And here's another one inside a tunnel under the ground. And on the back, are some groundhogs doing other things. This groundhog got an A+ for gathering enough fruits and vegetables to last through hibernation. All right. And then when we open, front cover, back cover, the spine. And when we open it up, we see the what? Title page. And the title of this book is Groundhog Weather School by Joan Holub and illustrated by Kristen Sora. Means Joan Holub wrote the words and Kristen Sora drew the pictures. And here they are crawling under tunnels. So this guy's crawling down here, and down at the bottom, he's got a big hole, and that's where he likes to sleep during the winter time, under the ground. So he's going in his tunnel. So here's the bookstore. It says, Happy Groundhog Day. I do not see my shadow. That means spring is here. And now we know this is a bunny, and the bunny says, Yahoo! And the bunny puts on his summer clothes, and he gets ready, and he says, spring is here, sun and fun, here I come. He's ready to go and play outside in the hot weather, and he climbs up out of his hole, and look what happened. It is not spring. He says, I guess it's really hard to predict the weather. Remember what we said prediction means? It means you're telling what you think is going to happen. So Rabbit wrote a letter. Dear weather groundhog, you were wrong. Spring is not here yet. Maybe you are too far away to predict the weather everywhere. So maybe you should get some help. Signed, Rabbit. And the groundhog says, Rabbit is right. I do need some help. But how will I find enough groundhogs to help me predict the weather all over North America? So he sent out this questionnaire. It says, have you got what it takes to be a weather forecaster? Are you a mammal? A mammal is an animal that has warm-blooded, has a backbone, drinks milk from its mom as a baby. And so if you've done those things, then you probably are a mammal. Are you furry? You be the judge. Do you live in a burrow? A burrow, remember, is that hole under the ground where they sleep. Are you a rodent? A rodent is an animal that has 2 front teeth and it chews its food like this. Like a groundhog is one, but also a mouse, a squirrel, and a beaver. And they all do this. And they have big old teeth. Do you remember when I showed you the picture of Birmingham Bill? He had big teeth, big front teeth. He's a rodent. Are you an herbivore? That means, do you eat plants? Do you hibernate? That means, do you sleep all winter? If you check all these boxes, you are probably invited to it. You are probably a groundhog, and you are invited to attend Groundhog Weather School. So the pig looked and he said, yes, I'm a mammal, but no, I'm not a rodent. No, I don't live under the ground. The monkey says, yes, I'm a mammal. No, I am furry, but I don't live under the ground, and I don't have 2 big front teeth. I'm not a rodent. Nope. And this guy says, the skunk says, yes, 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 no, no, no. He says, no fair. I bet a skunk could forecast the weather too. The skunk wants to be a weather forecaster. And this guy, this is the opossum, says, check, 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 check. Rats. Rats. But we found out today an opossum can tell the weather too, can it? And down here, there's a porcupine. He says, check, 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 check. Hibernate? Darn. And look, finally, the groundhog says, yes, I'm all those things. Yay. I'm heading to Groundhog Weather School. So when they get there, they say the Pledge of Hog Allegiance. They say, we, the students of Groundhog Weather School, pledge to come out of our burrows on February the 2nd, that's today, and to look for our shadows. And to remember that if we don't see our shadows, it means spring is here. If we do see our shadows, it means that there will be 6 more weeks of winter. So there are the kids learning all the things they need to know about their shadow. I see my shadow when it's sunny. But why would sunny weather mean more cold weather is coming? That doesn't make sense. It says here that sunny winter day may be extra cold because it's just no cloud blanket to trap the sun's warmth. Oh, shadow, says this little groundhog. Nobody said anything about scary shadows. And this little groundhog says, cool hair, dude. Is that a groundhog? No, that's that skunk trying to sneak into groundhog school. So it says groundhog minus shadow equals spring. Groundhog plus shadow equals winter. And then this little groundhog says, will that be on the test? And then all the groundhogs tell a little bit about themselves. This guy's from Pennsylvania, where the holiday started. And he's telling about his family. And she's jumping rope to tell about her family. All these different groundhogs are telling about themselves because they introduced themselves on the first day of school. And this says the very first groundhog to predict the weather was Punxsutawney Phil. And Punxsutawney Phil is the one that I showed you this morning when I showed you a picture of a real groundhog. And our groundhog's name is these are different groundhogs with different names. But our groundhog's name is Birmingham Bill. And then apparently Birmingham Jill this is a white groundhog, but he's still a groundhog. This is Jimmy the groundhog. This is Staten Island Chuck, Sir Walter Wally Raleigh. So all of those are groundhogs that tell the weather in their city. And then this page tells about different things in nature that predict the weather. Like when the cows face the west to feel the wind, that tells you it's warm. When honeybees get wet, they can't fly, so they stay in their hive when rain is coming. If a tree's leaves are curled up, it tells you it might be storming. So all of those are things in nature that tell us that about the weather. And here's the directions on how to build a burrow. They dig a hole, and this is where you want to sleep, and this is where you use the potty. So they have a different hole for their bedroom than they do for their bathroom, than they do for their food room. So they eat in this one, they poop in this one, and they sleep in this one. And then they have an escape tunnel to get out if an animal follows them this way, if an enemy. The reasons for the seasons, and these guys are dressed up for the different seasons. This is winter, and she says, I'm winter. I begin around December 21st at the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. I'm spring. I begin around March 21st at spring equinox, when the days and nights are the same length. I'm summer. I begin around June 21st at summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. And I'm fall. I begin around September 21st at the fall equinox, when the day and night are the same length again. And then right here it says there are two reasons why we have seasons. One, planet Earth orbits around the sun, and two, the Earth is tilted. So the part that's tilted towards the sun has hot weather, and the part that's tilted away from the sun has cold weather. And now they're studying shadows, and the teacher says, can anybody tell me what a shadow is? And the smart guy right here says, I know. It's the shade that's made when something blocks out the light. Remember when we looked at the shadow made by Pikachu today? All right, now they're ready. Here's the big test. What day do you come out of your burrow? On your birthday, on February 2nd, or on February 32nd? Well, we know it's February 2nd. What do you look for when you come out? And what did you tell me that they look for? They look for their shadow, right? Okay. If you see a shadow, what does it mean? Spring is here, summer vacation, or 6 more weeks of winter. Well, the story is it's 6 more weeks of winter. If you don't see it, what does it mean? It means that it really doesn't mean spring is here, but it means we're going to have an early spring. Whether you see it or not, what's the next thing you do? Go back to sleep, have a snack, or report the results to Groundhog headquarters. Well, they have to report the results to Groundhog headquarters so that they can tell the head groundhog what the weather is in their town. All right, so now they've graduated and they're ready for their job. Well, in the fall, they get ready to hibernate and they sleep. They sleep all fall. They sleep in October. They sleep in November. They sleep in December. And look down, here's that skunk. Skunk isn't hibernating because remember, he's not really a groundhog. He's having a good time. And here the groundhogs are, so their groundhogs are sleeping in October, November, December, January. And here comes February. February 2nd, at last, there goes the alarm. Everybody's getting up to tell their weather. And then here they go. Hello, Groundhog School, we are here. And all the different groundhogs tell the weather for their area. And then the head groundhog says, Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. I had some help this year from the graduates of Groundhog Weather School. And the rabbit says, Professor Groundhog got some advice and got my help. He's sure to be right this time. I'm going sledding. So he puts on his winter coat and goes outside, and what? It's spring. So really, one of the things that we found out is that even if the groundhogs tell us that it's going to be spring or it's going to be more winter, we can't be sure. The weather does what the weather does. We just don't know. All right, friends, now it's time for us to stand up because we're going to sing the Wiggy Wiggy Wiggles. Okay, here we go.
Wiggy, wiggy, wiggle.
Get ready to wiggle.
I got the wiggy, wiggy, wiggles and I can't slow down. Squeezy, squeezy, squirmy, got to move around. Got dizzy, dizzy, buzzies like I'm buzzing fly. Silly, willy, nillies and I don't know why. I got the jiggy, jiggy, jiggles and I can't sit still. The shiver, shiver, shakings like a fever chill. The fidget, fidget, fidgets and I'm flipping out. Golly, golly, jeepers, got to jump all about. And my mommy and my daddy and my teachers say, slow down, cool down, hey, hey, hey. It drives us crazy when you start to act this way. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down.
And freeze.
I got the wiggy, wiggy, wiggles and I can't slow down. Squeezy, 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 got the move around. Got dizzy, dizzy, buzzies like a buzzing fly. Silly, willy, nillies and I don't know why.
Freeze.
I got the jiggy, jiggy, jiggles and I can't sit still. The shiver, shiver, shaking like a fever chill. The fidget, fidget, fidgets and I'm jumping out. Golly, golly, jeepers, got to jump all about. And my mommy and my daddy and my teachers say, slow down, cool down, hey, hey, hey. It drives us crazy when the friends are like this way. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. I got the jiggy, jiggy, jiggles and I can't sit still. The shiver, shiver, shakies like a fever chill. The fidget, fidget, fidgets and I'm jumping out. Golly, golly, jeepers, got to golly, golly, jeepers, got to golly, golly, jeepers, got to jump all around.
All right. That was fun.
Let's go
Lots of little. All right. Was that fun? I had fun doing the Wiggy Wiggy Wiggles with you. All right, my friends. Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow is a teacher meeting day. We won't see you tomorrow. I will send you some things in an email if you want to do some things with your parents. But we will see you on Thursday morning at 8:40. Okay, so look forward to seeing you then. I love you. Bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.